Welcome back to Reddit Stories, where we explore stories of love, friendship, and the never-ending battle over personal boundaries. Where those "am I a bad person" moments make you wonder, does a sister's weekend really exist? Today, we're diving into a story that's been making waves on Reddit, one that anyone who's ever been in a romantic relationship can relate to. What happens when a carefully planned sister's getaway is hijacked by a fiancé with a bold but somewhat unacceptable idea? The story is titled AITA for telling my fiancé he's not invited to my girls' weekend because he wants to bring his friends. Is OP a selfish girl? Someone who is rightfully protective of her personal space, or someone who has put unnecessary stress on her relationship? Find out and let us know what you think. This story comes from Reddit user GirlsWeekendDilemma. We'll call her OP, a girl who was preparing for a long-awaited trip. OP and her group of close friends had been planning a girls' weekend trip for a long time. It was a tradition for them, a chance for the girls to escape their daily lives, spend time together, relax, chat, and do things that only sisterhood understands. The trip was carefully planned, including booking accommodations, fun activities, and all expenses were shared and paid for by the girls. OP was really looking forward to this trip. It was an important event to strengthen friendships, relax after stressful working days, and enjoy some private girl space. OP's fiancé, whom we will call Fiancé Mark, is a nice person, but sometimes acts indecently. When Mark heard about this girl's weekend trip, he was interested and started to propose the idea of going together. At first, OP explained that this was a trip for girls only, but Mark wouldn't give up. Not only did he want to go along, but he also wanted to bring a few of his close friends to turn the trip into a friendship event. Mark reasoned that we are a couple, we should go together, and my friends are also fun. Everyone will get along. This idea completely shocked and upset OP. The purpose of the trip was to spend private time with close girlfriends, not to get to know the fiancé friends, or turn it into a platonic trip. It would completely ruin the purpose and atmosphere of a girls-only trip. OP tried to politely but firmly explain that Mark and his friends could not join this trip. She emphasized that this was a planned trip for the girls, a girls' tradition, and there was no room for men. OP also explained that adding men would completely change the group dynamics and ruin the privacy the girls desired. However, Mark reacted very negatively. He became angry, saying that OP was selfish, inconsiderate of his feelings, didn't want to spend time with him, and was deliberately excluding him. Mark felt insulted and excluded. He said that if OP didn't let him go, OP was showing that she didn't want him to be a part of her life, and that wasn't good for their relationship. The argument escalated. OP felt completely justified in defending the boundaries of this trip, but was accused by Mark of being a tough guy. In search of validation and advice, OP posted her story on Reddit, asking the community AITA. OP's post blew up on Reddit, garnering tens of thousands of comments and hundreds of thousands of upvotes. The thread touched on one of the most contentious issues in relationships: personal boundaries and personal space. The vast majority of the Reddit community sided with OP, affirming that she was not a bad person at all. They emphasized the importance of having personal space in a relationship. Girls' weekend means girls' weekend. It doesn't mean couples' weekend or boys and girls' weekend. Mark was completely disrespectful and deliberately sabotaged your plans. This is a big red flag that he doesn't respect your boundaries. This comment has received tens of thousands of upvotes and multiple Reddit awards. He not only wants to come along, but he wants to bring his friends along. He's trying to make your trip his trip. That's manipulative and selfish. Everyone in a relationship needs their own space and time with their friends. Mark's failure to understand that is a serious problem. You're absolutely right to set this boundary. He's going to ask to go to the ladies' room with you next? That's crazy. Don't back down. If you give in now, he'll continue to break your boundaries in the future. This is a big test of your relationship. A few comments try to offer a more balanced perspective, or suggest better communication, or point out faults on both sides. NaH. Maybe Mark feels left out and wants to be a part of your life. But you have a right to your space too. It's a matter of how you communicate so that you both understand each other better. This comment is often disputed and receives fewer upvotes. ESH, if you can't handle this in a mature way. Mark is wrong to try to ruin your plans, but if OP didn't explain the importance of this trip clearly enough, then there may be some fault too. Criticize the narrator. These are extremely few and often focus on OP being too rigid or not being tolerant enough of her fiancé, YTA. Here's your fiancé, not a stranger. You could have tried to compromise or explain in a gentler way instead of saying not invited outright. This comment is often strongly criticized and receives many downvotes. In addition to the 1,000 times NTA comment mentioned above, another comment also touched the hearts of many people and caused an emotional storm, with its profound analysis of the importance of boundaries in a premarital relationship. NTA. This is not just about the outing. This is about respecting your personal boundaries. If he can't respect such a simple boundary now, how do you think he will behave after marriage? This is a huge red flag. You're doing the right thing by standing your ground. This comment received thousands of upvotes and awards, emphasizing the importance of setting boundaries before marriage. The Reddit community not only gave their verdict, but also actively engaged and expanded this topic into many deeper discussions, offering advice and sharing personal experiences, the importance of personal space in marriage. Many users shared their experiences of both spouses needing time alone with friends or for personal interests. Red flags in relationships. The debate over whether Mark's behavior is a red flag warning of future control or disrespect. Communication in relationships. Advice on how to communicate clearly and effectively to avoid misunderstandings and conflicts. Personal independence. Many emphasized the importance of maintaining independence and personal identity even when in a committed relationship. Sister-bro weekend experiences. Many funny or awkward stories about similar trips and partners' attempts to intrude. Overall, the Reddit community has been overwhelmingly supportive of OP, seeing her actions as necessary to protect her personal and traditional boundaries. After receiving overwhelming support and thoughtful advice from the Reddit community, OP has found the strength to deal with this difficult situation. She has provided some important updates on what happened next and how she is feeling. Summary of updates. Mark understands, or at least accepts. After the argument cooled down and OP firmly held her ground, as well as reading the Reddit comments OP shared, Mark finally accepted that he and his friends couldn't go on the trip. He was still a little upset, but no longer strongly opposed. The trip went smoothly. OP's girls' weekend trip with her friends went off without a hitch. The girls had a great time, exactly as they had hoped, without any disruption or change in dynamics due to the presence of men. OP feels validated. The community support and successful experience of the trip reinforced OP's belief that she did the right thing. She recognized the importance of setting and protecting boundaries in a relationship. Further discussion of boundaries. OP and Mark had a more candid conversation about the importance of having personal space and time with friends outside of the relationship. While they still have a long way to go to better understand and respect each other on this issue, this is a good start. Red flags still present. Even though the situation has calmed down, OP is still paying attention to Mark's behavior and is taking a closer look at how well he respects boundaries in other areas. She recognizes this as a red flag that needs to be addressed in the future. OP now feels more relaxed and confident in standing up for her space and desires. She knows that setting boundaries is not selfish, but necessary for the health of the relationship and her personal independence. While she still has concerns about the future, OP believes she has learned an important lesson and is ready to face the next challenges with more assertiveness. OP's story is a classic example of the challenges of setting and maintaining personal boundaries in romantic relationships. It highlights core issues of respect, independence, and the need for personal space. Conflicting emotions in the story. OP's initially excited about the plan, then upset, shocked, and frustrated by her fiancé's violation of her boundaries. Finally, determined, relieved, and confident in standing up for herself. Mark's fiancé, possibly naive or insensitive in bringing up the idea. Then anger, feeling excluded and offended when rejected. Reddit communities, from outrage for Mark to empathy for OP to rational analysis of boundaries and red flags in relationships. The Reddit community, in this case, acted as an objective judge and a trusted collective mentor. Not only did they provide strong validation to OP that she was not wrong to set boundaries, but they also offered insightful advice on the importance of respecting personal space in a relationship. This proves that Reddit can be a valuable resource for seeking support, advice, and validation when dealing with complex personal issues. Character analysis, OP. Narrator represents an individual who values friendships, traditions, and personal space. She demonstrates a strong commitment to protecting personal boundaries, which are important for her independence and well-being. Fiancé Mark represents someone who, perhaps unintentionally, lacks awareness of the importance of personal boundaries and tends to want to integrate every aspect of their life into the relationship. His behavior may be a red flag that needs to be addressed. Takeaway: personal boundaries are essential. In any relationship, especially a romantic one, establishing and respecting personal boundaries is crucial to maintaining independence, respect, and mental health for both parties. Clear communication. Both parties need to communicate clearly about their wants, expectations, and needs. Otherwise, misunderstandings and conflicts are likely to occur. The importance of personal space. Everyone needs personal space, time for themselves and friends outside of the relationship to grow personally and maintain balance in their lives. Red flags in relationships. Behavior that does not respect personal boundaries can be a red flag that needs to be addressed before committing further, as it can signal bigger problems down the road. Friendships are important. Close friendships, whether sisterhood or brotherhood, are an important part of life and should be respected, not dissolved into a romantic relationship. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Setting and protecting boundaries is not selfish, but an act of self-love and respect for your own worth. OP's story is a clear example of how in life we are constantly faced with situations where protecting ourselves and our important relationships is paramount. It is a profound reminder of the importance of understanding and respecting each other's personal space, so that a relationship is not only about connection, but also about respect and independence. What do you think of this story? How would you handle it if you were in OP's situation? Have you ever struggled to protect your personal space in a relationship? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thanks for following Reddit Stories. See you in the next story.